right now.
I'll start streaming this shit and then we'll see how this goes.
Yes, they're nice and crunchy.
Ooh, did you? Oh, you put them in the oven. You didn't air fry them or anything.
Nah, I was gonna. I got like a new air fryer recently, but my mum gave it to me for like a Christmas present, and so like I was gonna bring it to the apartment, but like it's just so big and there's no like space. Like there is space, but like it's just so like massive. Like the one she got me was like massive, so I need to get like a mini one, I guess.
Oh fuck yeah! Righto, let me work this out because I'm retarded.
You guys have like a trading view like subscrition? Do you guys use trading view like often?
Yeah.
I know you do, Onel. Do you, Swift? I probably should get one, I think.
I always do it at Black Friday because they do a Black Friday sale every year.
I think that's the plan.
Outside of that, it's not really worth it because it's like 70-80% discounted like on Black Friday. So
dead set. Yeah. How much is it usually? Like
it's depends on like what level subscription you get. Like I get the Mega Pro one or whatever it is because it's works out to be like $200 or $300 for the year.
Yeah. Oh shit, and that's like 80% discounted.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
It's like $2,000 or something. Yeah.
No, it can't be that. It can't be that. I don't know. It can't be that bad. It's definitely much cheaper.
I mean, it can. I think the top tier for like LLMs are like, what are they, like $150 a month?
I'm paying like $150 a month for Claude at the moment.
I've only got them.
I was going to say, you're going to have to tell us how you found that, because I'm yet to experiment with Claude.
Surprise, we are live.
Cool.
Surprise, you fucking retard. Surprise.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this will mark the local top.
I saw like Axie Infinity and like Ape Chain Coin ripping like 300%. I'm like, oh god, this can't be good. But
come hang, bros.
Around Ape Chain? Was there any news as to why it was pumping so much?
I think some like mutant ape was like, "What's the news, guys?" Like he was actually like
surprised.
Yeah. Like he actually thought like, Bored Apes were acquired by like Microsoft or something.
Oh my god.
Bored Apes were acquired from Microsoft. Jensen Huang is using Bored Apes to power his NVIDIA.
Yeah. He partnered with Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
To the new hyperscalers are Bored Ape Yacht Club.
That's funny as. All right. Yeah, we are proper live bros. You should hit us with the retweets.
Sorry if you're hearing me like squeeze this tomato sauce out of the bottle, but
no,
you gotta get it on the potato jam, man. You know what I've realized is I've still got like people on notifications since like 2021, and I need to unfollow these people.
Why are they like doing like exit shill scams now, or like what's the go?
No, it's just people that are really excited about things that I've lost money on, and it's just a bit too painful for me to keep that exposure going. Do you know what I mean? Like you feel like you need to clean out the timeline a little bit.
Yeah. It's only so long you can talk about ordinals before it becomes depressing.
We'll have to revisit that. We'll have to go and have a deep dive into the ordinals.
The ordinals eco.
Yeah, they're not on Magic Eden anymore, so I don't actually know where to find them.
How do you?
How do you
even trade it?
Maybe it's on Ordinals Market. Let me have a look. I don't even know what Sats Flow now. What the hell? Sats Flow. I think it's Sats Flow. Yeah.
Sats Flow. Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah. How's the audio coming through, by the way? Is it
your audio's good?
Audio's good. Okay.
Yeah. I checked it before. It sounded pretty dope. So
nice.
I am using the AirPods this time, and it doesn't sound terrible as it did
Yeah, it
last
doesn't
time.
actually sound bad, Wano. What the hell?
Yeah,
That's good.
probably. So remember the last time we all caught up and we did this? I got so sick, like afterwards, like maybe not sick, but like I got a terrible neck.
What happened?
But, like I don't know. Like I think it's because I brought my laptop outside and I was like on the deck. I've unfortunately
You got like a
started.
cold or something?
No, yeah, it's probably that, and like I think I was just like hunched over or whatever. It took me like 2-3 weeks to recover. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time.
That's not good, man. Let's pray that doesn't happen.
Yeah, maybe like sit back and just like sit back in the couch.
But yeah. So look, before we jumped on the pod, and before you jumped on Swiss, Sticks and I were just talking about like, have we been doing anything in crypto? And I'm curious, like, given what your situation, what have you been doing, or have you been doing anything in crypto at all? And if anything interests you whatsoever?
Oh, good question. Probably regrettably not that much. I think I've been also regrettably a little bit more consuming, if that's even the correct term. I feel like I've just been like exposing my brain to a lot of probably unhelpful things out there on the crypto Twitter sphere at the moment. But I haven't been doing anything too productive. I'll say the occasional GM on Farcaster, but yeah,
GM Farcaster Pro, really?
Yeah, a bit embarrassing to talk about that, but no, not too much, man. Like I think now is probably the time to, in my own opinion, to get a little bit more active and lean into communities and connect with people, because I think that this time last cycle there was a lot more of that desire, even from me, or maybe I'm probably not alone, but there was a much more desire to connect with people and learn, if that makes sense. And I feel like I've lost that drive at the moment, so I kind of want to get a bit of that back. But yeah, that's in answer to your question in a weird way. That's how I'm feeling at the moment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just before we jumped on, you were mentioning a ticker that was pretty crazy in TradFi or something. What was the ticker?
Yeah, so this is probably why I shouldn't be trading. So Bix, who I think is a really, really good trader and investor, he told me about a particular stock called, oh my God, I'm going to butcher this. Synopsis, that's it.
What's the ticker? SNPS.
Yeah. And he told me about it around like $432, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'll check it out. And then it dropped to about 380. And then I decided to buy at like 400 or something. I can't really remember the specifics. Anyway, it moved in my favor, and then I decided to bring my stop up to about 394, and then it went down to a low of 389 just before it moved up to $500. So, classic me, being on the wrong side of destiny. But yeah, just another generational fumble in what would appear to be a good trade, So.
Yeah, nice. That's classic. I'm going to try and pull this up a bit here. SNPS. Okay.
It's an EDA stock, so it's a electronic device automation stock. So they do like IP for software for the chips, like the silicon chips.
Yeah, gotcha.
So before you send them out to like the fab facilities, they sort of make sure everything's
kosher,
working properly. Yeah, because if you send them to the fab facilities and something's wrong, like it takes like months to sort of recall, and then like send them to TSM or something like that.
Gotcha.
So it's got a good moat, but I think the reason it's not like at all-time highs is they're trying to sort of increase their margins. Because there's sort of there's a duopoly. There's two companies, there's Synopsis and Cadence, and they're sort of just like yeah, they got a duopoly, but they're sort of competing with each other, so it makes it hard to really rip margins.
So this is why I'm profit and I'm not. So he knows what it is. I've got no clue.
That's funny so it's actually quite funny because I have like a stocks like watch list that I put together back in like 2022. And I was going through my watch list today, and just out of curiosity. And I remember looking at TMSC, so the Taiwan Semiconductor stock.
Taiwan Semiconductor.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys pull up Twitch, you'll probably be able to see it because I'm not sharing screen at Discord. But I had charted out quite significantly TMSC back in like 22, and I'd like mapped out a few different plans. As if I was actually going to take a trade, because obviously I don't take trades. I just draw squiggles on charts and just like pretend like I'm going to do them.
I love it.
And had I done it, I had my squiggle and some like red boxes and everything drawn out, and it kind of like tipped the red box, like just the tip sort of thing. And I had a little squiggle that was like representing where I think it could go, and then it kind of did that squiggle a little bit. And like, if I had bought that stock anywhere in that region whatsoever at the time, which was when it was like trading between like $60 to like $90, it's now trading at like $402. Like, well, that probably would have been a great trade. Well done.
Yeah, it's insane. It's an insane
well done.
chart.
Yeah, and then I started going through some other. So I did have like one good stock trade, which I had like zero size in whatsoever. It was this Aussie stock called Sandfire, and I like bought it back in.
I've heard of this. I've actually heard of this company.
Yeah, so I bought it in 22 around the same time that the ETH merge happened, and I think it was September 22. Yeah, it would have been around then because my entry was like $4.90 or something. And I put like fuck all size into it, but I was like, well, I either put this money into Ethereum or I put it into this stock. So I put it into the stock. Thank God I put it into the stock, because putting it into Ethereum wouldn't have done fuck all for me. But anyway, it ended up rallying up from like to $21 or something, and I ended up getting out just before it nuked at like $20, like 50 or something. Which is now like $17. But I was like, these stocks are trading quite well. But like I then went through like all of these stock charts. There are so many that just look absolutely ridiculous. But then there's some that are just like horrendous. Like
there's some that are terrible. Yeah. Like if you bought like, I don't know, if you just bought any of those like classic like dividend
Mag
stocks,
7,
like,
blah blah blah. Yeah.
Like if you bought like PayPal, or even like I mean any software company, but like just like, and I don't know, Nike, Disney, like there's like heaps of big names that are just like terrible companies, management wise. That like, and then like there's so many names that in 2021 they're down like 90%. So you could have still got burnt, like if you made like the wrong decisions.
Yeah. But you know how like people do those meme charts where they like map Bitcoin against like the money supply, like the M2 money supply sort of chart, and then they sort of do that. So I'd done that same thing, but with like the SPX, like since probably 21, 22 now. And I like charted it. And anyway, I've watched it for years.
Oh wow! Look at it now.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I like a resistance. What?
Yeah.
What's this? So this is at 1999.
Yeah, so this was like the .com bubble,
bubble,
all-time high, right? And so the last time I'd looked at this was like, I think it was like maybe a couple of years ago. And I remember when we like topped in in November 21, and like it had done the range, and then hit the like top of that range, and then like nuked down, and I was like, oh, that kind of worked out pretty well. And then it like when I think it was April last year when we had like the nuke in like what happened last year? Was it Ukraine, or was one of the something happened? Tariffs, that was right. It was tariffs.
Yeah.
So like the tariffs happened last year, and it was exactly on like the next resistance that I'd like sort of mapped out. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I wonder if it's going to nuke from here. And then I don't think I'd ever looked at it since. Sorry, yeah. And then like nuked, and I was like, oh yeah, it's back in the range. Like, yeah, let's here we go. Then I've just pulled it open today for the first time in ages. I'm like, oh, we're at that all-time high now. So like,
that's crazy.
Money supply versus SPX, like we are like back to .com bubble levels, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. But it kind of like something, I don't know how to like put words to it, but it kind of makes sense, like in the way it feels in terms of the market, in terms of like everything feels like so overvalued, or like the way that
I feel like if you're in cash and you're a smart person, like you can't physically like if I was like full cash, yeah, like I wouldn't be buying. Like it just feels like, even if I'm wrong, like say like it just keeps ripping for another year or something, like I don't think I could buy. Like
it
even
feels
what
terrible,
I'm doing right now, like I'm doing on my brokerage account or like in crypto perps or whatever. I'm quick in and out. Like I'm like, aside from like one or two spot holds, like I'm like worried. Like as in like I just can't like justify buying shit at this valuation, just because like I could like a lot of the companies, yeah, they've got like really good revenues, and their earnings are like amazing, and like they're blowing them out of the water. But like I still think like, fuck man, like having like 8 companies be like 40% of the S&P 500 is just like fucked.
It is fucked.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys about this as well, because I think with the technology of Hyperliquid bringing the ability to kind of long or short stocks, do you guys see stocks being a more desirable place to park capital given the current environment? I know you guys just said pretty much that, yeah, it's overvalued.
I think people like just trading volatility. And if you look, like, just click on any semiconductor name in the part, like, mind you, some of these semiconductor names have like 50, $100 billion market caps. Like, they're not like, $100 million like altcoin market caps, and they're up like 50%, 60, 70% in a month. And some of these names, the 10 to $20 billion range ones are up 300% in the year. So yeah, people just are trading this narrative and volatility. Like, I think Base 16Z said it. The stock market. Oh, sorry.
Did you get a potato gem stuck in your throat just then, or?
Yeah, like, oh my god, yeah. I just like drank some like water, and I like got stuck in my like.
Man down.
No, literally.
Six
yeah.
Man down.
Yeah. But yeah, no, people are just saying like the stock market is like a casino. Like it actually is.
No, well, so I don't know if you remember when Dark came to visit last year, Sticks and Swiss, but I think he was saying back then, like, I think we had a conversation over dinner saying like crypto is going to trade more like stocks, and stocks are going to trade more like crypto.
Yeah, that's so true.
And we're talking about how like narrative trades and like all of that are going to be like a much bigger thing in like stocks, and like we've built like the tool sets to be able to like identify trends and blah blah blah, and like the more available like trading stocks is, the more it's going to trade like that. And it's like it's really done that like phenomenally,
like perfectly. I know,
so much quicker than what I actually thought it was going to.
Same. I was like not prepared for that.
no, exactly.
It's funny. He was actually spot on with that call, because like you look at the volatility of something like Bitcoin and ETH, and you look at the volatility of something like I'm trying to think of a name, like something that's similar market cap to Ethereum is like look at a stock called like ARM. If you do ticker ARM, it's a CPU like bottle. Like the narrative right now is like, oh, there's a CPU compute bottleneck, and so this company's got like a similar market cap to ETH, and it's like 10x more volatile. Like it makes no sense considering like crypto is known for its like its volatility. Yeah,
dude,
like
it gapped up.
Like look at yeah. This was the one the other day I was telling you about that I was like, oh, like I got to sell before I go to bed. Like I ripped it into like the breakout, and then I sold it like 5% higher or something, and it just like kept ripping. I'm like, that was just dumb, but it's the crypto PTSD.
Yeah, proper. Hikaru joined the chat, so welcome, Hikaru. Long time no talk. I miss you.
Oh, Hikaru, welcome.
Eli Lilly.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised. Oh, actually, looking at this chart, I was actually expecting this to be a lot more like up only.
I mean, if you look at the bottom though, like look how much it went up. From,
it's gone up a shit ton. Yeah, to be fair,
yeah,
that's
like
pretty true.
if you manage to like clip any sort of like money in it, and even not even at the bottom of the tariffs, but like just like within that like 10-15% bottom range, like fuck, like
almost a 2x, almost a 2x.
And you held it, yeah. Like you could have got like like. If you did that on Nvidia, you almost got like a 3x at current prices, which is like kind of crazy considering it's like the biggest company on the planet. So
yeah, well, like as far as narratives go, like I thought with the whole peptides thing, like that, like sort of it's really gone crazy on crypto Twitter.
I think
Twitter in general.
The stock you want to look at for that,
Hims.
There's a retail name. It's called Hims. Yeah. I don't trade that because I think it's like a dog shit company, but like that's what they all like to buy and sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
those retail dudes like Hims, and there's another company
even
that
Hims though. The chart's not what I thought. Like I would have.
Well, it was really good, but now it's like dog shit, obviously. But,
yeah.
Well, I think people like smelt the BS late last year, but. Like I mean, if you caught it near the, I remember Jelly Smith Rave was like DCA Hims, and he was charting it
doing
at
so
the
early.
bottom, like and he did it like recently, like at like $15-$16, like no, it was like $17 or $16. He's like DCA in, and I'm like, he's like JSR never misses. I'm like, yeah, bro actually doesn't miss, like
proper doesn't miss.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's
pretty
crazy.
funny. Another name. This is another classic retail name. AMD, like that chart has gone like bonkers lately, like because of the CPU bottleneck narrative. Like all these, like they're all just narratives. Like no one actually knows if there's there might actually be a bottleneck, but it's all just based off like hypotheticals. How if these like Mag 7 like companies are going to keep doing like capex raises on data center build outs and stuff like that. Like it's still just a narrative, even though there is some like intrinsic value to it. But you just got to bit like, but people don't care. Like they're just like they're just betting on it.
That's crazy.
They love the volatility. So it's like I saw someone the other day. It was funny. Like this account that I follow, and like he's just like a normal account, and he was like some absolute like amazing opportunities in the market, and he put the ticker of like Visa and MasterCard, and then like some dude commented, he's like, brother, like why the fuck are you telling people to buy a stock that goes up 10% a year when you can just buy like a semi name, it goes up 10% a day. Like I was like yeah, this is just like so speculative, and like I'm like, oh god, like but I can see why people on CT are sort of trading them, because they love volatility. Like if there's no volatility in one area of crypto, like, and there's volatility in stocks, people just want to like people just want to trade volatility. That's all they care about. I feel like
100%.
Like
100%. I'm kind of like annoyed at myself.
If it comes down to crypto, I really want to trade it on crypto. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say I'm really annoyed at myself not to like I've been so lazy like putting stuff back into stocks, because like all of my trading is like through the business, and like I haven't set up like TradFi stuff through the business, so like and I'm not really interested in trading like perps on any of the stocks. Like if there was like some spot stocks that I could like trade on, I'd probably do that on like Hype and whatnot. But
the funding's like not worth it.
It's exactly like something that's not too bad.
If they can get the APR like down from like 10% to like 2-3%, it's like 100% worthwhile to like always trade perps on Hyperliquid. But like Like if you're doing it now, you can only really hold the position for a couple of days.
That's right. And I feel like the biggest problem is like stocks. The thing that does well in them is like it's really a buy and hold. It's like it's not as much of a just a trade.
Yeah, they fake you out. Like it's so efficient in the market, it'll fake you out. Like it's happened to me multiple times on names where like it'll gap up 10% and then it'll go back down, Jewish fake out like 10%, and then I'll get like I'll just sell because I'm like like it's gonna gap down now, and then it just rips, and I'm like I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But you should set up a interactive brokers account if you want to expand your TradFis. It's game changer when I opened it. It's so much better. Like you don't pay for Aussies especially. Like getting like basically paying nothing on FX fees is like it's like so good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like nothing. Like you literally pay nothing. So it's like it's so good. Yeah.
So with everything that's been happening, obviously, like with the Iran's shit and whatnot, like Hype's obviously drawn a lot of attention in terms of being like a platform choice from like a trading perspective. Like obviously volumes and like oil and a lot of these like big names like we've been talking about from stocks, like even Eli Lilly's like a perp on like Trade XYZ. Do you feel like there's going to be a lot more of this like migration of like TradFi stuff onto crypto sort of platforms now, given that there is volatility and like the 24/7 market like gives an opportunity for people to trade these things on weekends where they couldn't previously do so before?
That's a good question though, isn't it? Because it feels like a natural progression, but I don't want to assume that people want to trade copper futures at 20x leverage on Saturday mornings. It's like it's an interesting thought.
Well, I'll have you because I feel like I would.
I think the natural progression of markets will be, the Nasdaq going. The Nasdaq's already doing 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. But I think it'll eventually obviously do 23 hours or something 7 days a week or whatever it is, or 24/7, whatever it is.
Well, wasn't there something that someone did recently where they looked at like hyperliquid pricing of like perps of like crude and a few other things, and it was like the open price, like what it traded at pre-market or post-market on a Friday night to like what it opened at. Like hyperliquid was within so many bips of like the open price, so it was like
it was close. It was closely correlated. You're saying,
closely correlated.
It was the hyperliquid price was like quite close to what the actual open was on the Monday. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, well,
correct.
that's like pretty reassuring in terms of like TradFi adoption on hyperliquid. I've seen a lot of big accounts like.
Well, if you pull up like the 5-minute chart on like Hype on what's it called on WTI oil, for example, like if you compare it to like some of the other some of the other stocks or whatever that you can trade on perps on Hype, like it's not the same, if you know what I mean. If I was to pull this up on a screen share,
will that
like the liquidity on like oil is like much better.
Yeah.
I think no, that's not the one.
So like the open interest is much higher, obviously, on the most traded product. Therefore, it'll be more efficiently priced.
Well, like because if like I've just put up the Hype chart on oil, and it's like on a 5-minute chart, like the candles are quite full and thick. That's how like I sort of like deem liquidity. Whereas if I was to pull up like the soy chart, like it's not moving as much. Like
there's not much open interest.
There's not much happening there, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like there's $80 million of volume done in whatever time period, and like 252 mil of open interest. But like silver's got a bit more of a like weird looking chart on XYZ, but like oil's like trading like proper shitcoin sort of chart as well, which is like pretty crazy.
I feel like it's kind of just like fucking insane that like there's like say they do go, you know, the Nasdaq does go 24/7, and like I mean it's already 23 5 days a week, but I just find it like insane that like if it does go 7 days a week, there'll just be like people that are like will never like leave their phone like ever, like they'll just be online 24/7, just like
what's new though?
Doing what? No, yeah, you're actually right. Like, but it's gonna get like it'll get even more just like.
Well, like
I don't even know what the word is. Like,
bro's probably like nuking Iran in his like jet airplane, like whilst he's got Hyperliquid open, like or Polymarket or Kalashi or whatever.
Yeah,
like doing it mid trade.
Do you actually think these products, these prediction market, on-chain products, will get regulated, or do you think they'll just forever be like this?
I think they will eventually, depending on who's in power.
It seems like I saw a video of an ex-quant who said like there's always an inefficiency in stuff, and then they eventually patch it or that they regulate it. And he was like, yeah, this is another one where it's like he made a joke where he's like, yeah, you could have gone to like the Lakers game yourself and throwed like a purple dildo onto the field whilst betting on like you know, like there's all these like inefficiencies.
Well, and he thinks the dude that got arrested in France the other day because like there was like bets for like the temperature of like whatever it was going to be in like Paris, and he went up there with like a hairdryer and was blowing the hairdryer on the thermometer, and was enough to like move the market. And then he closed his position, made a bunch of money, and then he got arrested. So
it seems like the logical thing. Like I don't see how they can just like. I mean, I'm like not in favor of like having like government overreach, but I feel like it's like inevitable. Just because of how people people are already getting arrested for it. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Arrested
like,
some dude in the US, didn't they? Because of like
they arrested a special forces officer.
Maduro or whatever.
Like, yeah, he made like $400K because he was obviously part of the operation or knew what was going to happen. But I feel like, I mean, I don't really, I just hate prediction markets in general because I just think it's like a worse form of like there was like. You know, there was like Memecoin trenches, which was already like difficult.
Yeah.
But you had like some sort of asymmetric upside if you came in at the right time. I mean, there's obviously none now, but prediction markets from the start, I don't really think many people had asymmetric upside unless you were an insider. Then you had 100% upside. But not many people are insiders. So I feel like you're just like. Because the way prediction markets work is there'll be like a huge bet placed on something that's like super liquid, and people will just assume that this person has insider knowledge. I mean, he might not even. He might just be a retard. You know what I mean? Like you don't actually know. So yeah, I'm like I don't like prediction markets. I've always been like
Swiss is like $100 million long on like oil right now is not because he's like a genius, but because he's a retard or.
It's got to be a retard. Yeah, but it is interesting because I think you're not wrong. Sticks around where prediction markets are currently at. I think a lot of the things that are on there are geared quite efficiently. That the only way to really gain an advantage is if you are an insider. If you look at the markets, like what I'll do, right, is because in Australia you're essentially geo-blocked from being able to look at Polymarket. So my window for that is I'll use BankerBot, and I'll basically get BankerBot to just tell me. You can go on
if you want to actually go on the website. You can go on the Polymarket, or you could put the URL in, or you could just go on the Polymarket, like Twitter, and then click the website. But like Yeah, you can do that.
I don't know, like I'm not even on a VPN, but I'm still able to go on Polymarket.
Yeah, you're able to go on it. You just can't like
log
like
in
place
and
bets. Yeah, you can't you can't place bets.
Well, maybe this is just a me thing, but anyway, what I was trying to get at is, I think, just to summarize the point, is that I think most of the markets are so wound, like unbelievably efficient, that the only way to really gain an advantage is
if you're an
insider. And then I think some of the markets aren't even that entertaining to bet on. So I was looking at the Premier League because I watched that a little bit. I don't really have any edge there, but I just want to see if there's anything that appeals to me. And there's no markets that really jump out at me as something that I believe to have an edge. It's just kind of like, it's not worth the risk. Like, something might have like a 50% probability of occurring when you damn well know that there's like not that much of a like a probability occurring. It's just not as
could go either way.
So I think
you might as well play roulette.
So I think one of the things that could change is, and I don't know how they would do this, and I don't think it's like that great, but they could democratize the way in which you create markets. So you might be able to then, whether you need to go down a specific path, but if you could create your own markets with your own percentage weightings and do it in a way where you feel like it's a little bit more open to people getting involved, then I think that might be a fun way to do it. So like, it's essentially like hosting your own poker night with friends, but you get to kind of host your own Polymarket bets with your friends. I think that would be quite fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But, the other one, this shits me off as well, is there used to be blanket long duration timelines for certain things to play out. And what they've ended up doing is, all of the markets that seem to be front of center, is they've brought that time horizon to a really short window. So it's like no one can actually, there's like an avenue where no one is actually right or wrong, and it just expires because of the time duration that they've put on the bet, which kind of shits me off a little bit. But I guess, that might keep the market alive and is
that like the nothing ever happens type thing, where it's like you bet on these things that like don't expect to happen within the time and duration that's like given, and as such you make a lot of money because nothing ever happens? Is that sort of the same concept?
Like I'm just looking at one now.
That's so true.
It's like Trump announces US blockade of Hormuz lifted by, and it's got April 30 or May 31. So it's kind of giving you, it's like if you believe it's going to be lifted, it's like you now have to then guess the correct time.
It's ridiculous. Like, no one wins. You're actually right.
So I think
obviously someone wins, because it's like it's zero sum, but like, you're right. Like, it's difficult to, like, you can't do it consistently.
And that's where I think it gets a little bit like not great in my opinion. But I might not be doing enough due diligence or looking at it. But
no, Swiss, you're actually right. Like, the way they've curated these markets, it makes it very difficult for you to actually accurately do something. Like, for example, like, there would have been dudes that had large sums of money on US Iran ceasefire, but on like a specific day, and they would have been like they would have clicked no, and it would have been like 97% or something like that. And then it actually happened that day, because like, nothing, like, it was just a random day that, it just happened. And then they lose all their money, and they would have had like a huge bet on it. So they lose like $100,000 or whatever. And then there's, on the opposite side, there's these like gamblers that like are just every single day doing like $1,000 on like a 10% chance of $1,000 to try to make $10,000, but they keep doing it consistently, like ceasefire by 30th, 31st, first, and it doesn't happen, and then they lose. So like, both sides of the fence just end up losing.
I've just put up one now, right? So like, on that exact topic. So there was one that was like US Iran ceasefire extended by, and it was like April 22nd, right? And anyway, so that's obviously 4 days ago. The outcome proposed initially was yes. It was then disputed. The outcome proposed was no.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
It was then
man.
disputed again. So like, the market hasn't resolved yet, right?
It doesn't actually know. Like,
so like, there's
like such a gray area in like these ceasefires, because like, Trump will obviously tweet something that's like not even happening maybe, but then like he said it happened. And he's the president, so like they're like, oh, it has to count. You know what I mean? But then there's other people that are saying like, but they haven't opened the straight, and then it's like. Yeah, so like you got these like two sides of the fence that don't even know what the fuck's going on. So I can't say how these actually like are well curated long term. Like this doesn't. I mean, obviously it's just gambling. Like yeah, unless you're an insider. But it's just like even then, like the asymmetric, like the risk you're taking for you to potentially like even if you're right, you could just like get fucked over by like these like gray area rules. Yeah, like a technicality. Like it seems like so fucked. Like the only ones you could really bet on are like, you know, who's going to win the NBA championship. Like that's like literally the only, and that's just sport. That's just gambling. Like you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's crazy.
It's been around for decades. So yeah,
I don't know if you guys realize, but there is a Polymarket now for the 5-minute price of Bitcoin.
Yeah. That's been around for a couple months. Yeah, I saw that.
So like you can, it's kind of like an options, like a 0-day options trade, but it's like within 5 minutes. And it's I've just been watching.
It's funny to watch. It's funny to watch how it moves. Like it'll be like 80% chance, and then like it'll reverse to like 50. It moves. It's so insane.
I feel like there'd be so much. Like the thing that annoys me with stuff like this, like when we talk about inefficiencies in pricing, right? When you've got products like this that exist, and like there's not a lot of volume on these things, so it's like at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be like that material. But it's like if it was going to be that material, the fact that these products exist sort of like mutes the volatility. Because like you can hedge,
price.
Because like, well, like I could sit on these like this last 5 seconds of like trading or whatever, and then if I had enough size, like I could size the fuck in to one of these
a perp
like
short or long,
or whatever, and like manipulate the price, and then like have the outcome like effect on. But like the trade's obviously got to be worth it, right? Like in terms of like. Whatever bet,
like if you bought it at 10 cents and then it randomly jumped to 90% or something like that.
Correct.
But it's like so fucked.
When we talk about like market inefficiencies and efficiencies, like this is the sort of shit that like makes things more efficient, if you know what I mean. Because there's like way more products. Like TradFi doesn't have a product like this. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have a 5-minute chart bet that you can like go and do. But to be fair, and like the size of those products are like nowhere near as big, like enough to like. Oh, they were sorry. Let me rephrase that. They're much bigger than that to be able to like move in that sort of like fashion. Whereas like crypto's got perps and leverage and blah 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 blah. So yeah, it's like these sort of products are cool. Like if you took the price appreciation of like tokens away and you just looked at like what's crypto done in like probably like since like 1010, like when everything nuked, it's like, well, Hyperliquid's like one of the most used platforms, and it was like, especially during like these political environments, they drew heaps of like attention and like got all these firms trading on it. Like that's awesome. Has it done well for hype price? Well, probably, yeah. It probably did a lot for hype price because it was like trading at like $21. So it was like, yeah, it's probably a good thing. Polymarket, another product. Kalashi, another product. Like, what has that done for crypto? Fuck all, but it's done on crypto. At least Polymarket is.
I saw I don't know if you guys watched the Kobe stream the other day, but he basically touched on He touched on that specifically, where he said there's like a K-shaped effect in crypto right now, where the good, I wouldn't even call like Polymarket good, but like it's innovative. I'll give it that. So
it's a product that people use.
It's a product that people use. So that's already like a plus, I guess, even if you can say it's like shit. But like, yeah, for example, Polymarket, Kalshi, and Hyperliquid. They're all products that people can use. Hyperliquid's really the only one you can get exposure to via the token, which was probably the only fair valuation way, the only one you could have gotten exposure to. And everything else is essentially like gated by like private rounds and stuff like that. And you won't be able to get any exposure to it until it, launches at like 20 billion on the public market or whatever. So like there's that K-shaped effect where it's like, yeah, all the people, the insiders and the people with connections have like exposure to these things. I mean, if you're in hype, that's great. Like it's the only thing. And then everyone else got like absolutely cooked holding like tokens that aren't like equity and whatever like they thought was like really cool, innovative tech. Yeah, because like they just got, and even Pump Fund. Pump Fund's a great example. Like yeah, they released a token. It didn't do well, but then they said they were going to release an airdrop, and everyone got bullish on the airdrop or whatever because they're like, we're going to get like insane stimmies for using this platform. That it was a platform that people use. You could say it was a negative or a positive, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But people used it. People still use it. But like, no, there's an unlikely chance that anyone's getting any sort of good airdrop. So it's like, yeah, that again is another K-shaped effect where like the holders got like destroyed, and the top echelon of, the bundlers and Elon and his group, like, and the people who got the seed round are up like 100x. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad. Like it's just the K-shaped effect. So Kobe touched on it pretty well, I thought.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Go on, Swiss. Sorry.
No, I think that the K shape makes a lot of sense when you realize that the vehicles of which you would want to see returns from your like capital are just not delivering the return. So a lot of the things that are of value at the moment, or a lot of the things that people are using or want to have exposure to, it's not really there. So for me, and I might be looking at this wrong, is that I look at this as if like I should even be really participating that much, given the denominator of like my thought process is that all of these things of value are out of reach for me until they IPO. So it's like, that old tale where it's like, oh, you want to bid the winner. So one of the things that I wrestle with quite frequently is whether or not I would like to hold Circle stock. I think there are people that like to think that the business may not be efficient, or it might not be a great company, or it's too expensive for what it does. The reality is it's one way you could get exposure to stablecoins, or that of, maybe something like Sky, which I think could be a good project. So it's not Tether though. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's not as large as Tether. So it's
well, you got like Plasma or like something as like an alternative exposure, but like Plasma's like dog shit.
So it's like do you try and buy ENA and Sky and Circle and XPL because they're the only ways that you can actually express your thesis in terms of owning stablecoins long term, and then do the mental gymnastics to figure out which one's going to perform the best and apply frameworks to it? Or do you just go, I can't own Tether, so that's that? It's just like,
I think like a few months ago, I might have spoken to you, Swiss, or like maybe it was Dark, about Sky. It was around like 60 cents or something, or like six cents or whatever at the time, or like 0.06 at the time. And I've watched it for like ages, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could buy here. But then every time I've been like, oh yeah, it pumped, but now it's going down a lot. So like, it's probably like, and the rest of the market looks shit. But like, it would have been the most painful coin to like hold throughout the whole time that it's like gone up to like near 0.09 at the moment, and it like looks like it's about to sort of complete the half pipe and then sort of send. Like it's a great looking token with like some great like fundamentals behind it, but like the chop in between of holding it, like each time it's like peaked and dipped, it's been like a 20-30% sort of rise and fall. Like it would have been hard, like holding that, like especially during like this sort of bear market period. So it's like, do you really want to hold that, or do you want to hold, Circle stock or whatever it may be? It's like it's not a lot of options that are like, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to feel comfortable holding it, because most things in crypto have just gone down only. And so like, there's not a lot that like you can look out there for and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this thing because it's good. And then like you sort of like circle back to like Bitcoin as an example, and it's probably like the only like semi-attractive thing that like doesn't have the same sort of downside volatility, but it's, you know, doesn't also come equally with the same upside volatility, but it's like probably like if you're excluding hype as an, like, of course as well.
I think if you want to bet on, I think the best one out of all of those, in my opinion, is, it's going to sound really beige and shit, but it probably is Circle. Like, I probably honestly is. Like, I mean, I'm not going to buy it now. Like, I don't want to buy it like now, but like if crypto actually does come back, Circle has like all the narratives. Like it has stable coins, it has like agentic finance, like with agents. Like that's a narrative. Like it might not even come true. Yeah, like it's like TradFi will like bid it. Like they did Coinbase. When you actually remember, like if you go Bitcoin versus Coinbase actually outperformed Bitcoin last cycle, which is interesting. Like if you actually think about it, you're like, wait, like I could have just bought like a stock instead of like the actual coin. And it didn't outperform it by like a vast margin, but like it did actually outperform it in the bull market.
You've got the guarantees of like the security of like a stock.
Of it actually being equity, yeah, like it's actual equity in the company. But yeah, I think if you would like out of all those that we just spoke about, I mean, there'll probably be one or two like altcoins that like rip eventually, but I think like the risk to reward of like not going to zero, but like having, you know, good upside potential. I think Circle, people always want to talk about AI and crypto. Like Circle has like the best narrative, like agentic finance. Like it's still the best narrative. Like I mean, could it just be all bullshit?
Chain agnostic like, as well, right? So it's like
exactly. Can it be bullshit? Like they could be full of shit, but like it's like probably the best like narrative that you could get. I'll probably keep an eye out for it. Like if it drops another 50% or something.
Not my luck.
Knowing my luck, it won't even drop like 10%. It'll probably just go up from now. But I'll keep an eye on it. I know Jelly Smith Rave's got I think he's got like call options on it for like 2027 or 2028 or something. So
oh really?
Yeah. He thinks that whole narrative is like gonna play out pretty well. Like people always talk about like Tao and all these like AI and crypto, and I'm like, bro, like
the best narrative is stablecoins,
bro. Like like stablecoins is like the one thing that like crypto has like actually achieved like and done really well with. Like it's actually like if you have an internet connection in a third world country, you can like stop yourself from like hyperinflation. Like
I was saying to Sticks before we jumped on Swiss that like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, I got like mega bullish ETH, which is obviously terrible.
I mean, I got sucked in at some point as well.
Yeah, too, and it was all around like the whole AI, like quantum resistance, blah blah blah. And instead of buying Hyperliquid at $21, I
Circle. Circle we went to like $50 and it went to $130 in like a month. Yeah.
So like you know the I think the lesson learned for me there is like there is a like the narrative might be right, but like the hard thing like looking forward, if you're going to be forward looking on a lot of this stuff, is you know
what's the best way to express it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you're chain agnostic enough, but like the moat really is in like what stable coins people use, and it's like what's going to be Tether or Circle. Hard to get exposure to.
And Circle Tether is regulated by the it's regulated. So there's all this big money, like this pool of money in TradFi that will happily buy it because they know they're assured by the regulatory authorities that, you know, they're not going to like lose all their money instantly from like some like, you know, random like fucking exploit or something like that, which is very important for like a funds. Like funds care about this shit. Like I know like none of us give a fuck about this shit because like we're just a bunch of like degenerates, but like most funds like have like, you know, they have like risk management protocols that they have to like adhere to. So
risk management,
like that. Yeah, like I know we don't have that, but like
no, we don't have that.
Yeah, but like if they want like
risk management,
stablecoin AI narrative exposure, like everyone, I keep seeing it on fucking Twitter, man. Everyone's like, oh, like best AI crypto. Like I'm like, bro, like, it's fucking Circle. Like it's right in front of you, but. And I'm probably gonna miss it because I'm gonna get too greedy and like wait for it to go too low. But yeah, I reckon Circle. Yeah. I reckon Circle, man. Like, fuck, people are gonna like, try and pick some like altcoin that like is down like 90%, and like, good luck to them. Like, if it pumps, like, GG, like that's sick. But like, the big pool of money will be in the equity based stablecoin.
Have you noticed that like certain like meme coins have like come back a little bit in the last few weeks? But they're like,
I saw a few. But they just, the problem with the meme coins is there's so many bag holders that will like, so if you get like a 30 or 40% pump, like there's just going to be people that like dump into that, you know what I mean? Which is like not bad. Like I'm trying to see like which ones have pumped, but I saw that Farcoin went from like 16 cents to like from the bottom, like this is like the peak fear to like 24 cents. I was like, oh shit, like Farcoin's moving, and then like it instantly just like got like Hitlered back to 20 cents in like 20 minutes. I was like, oh bro.
There was like what's it called? There was some meme coin that Rookie XBT bought today called Spike.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I saw some like account posts like Rookie XBT just bought Spike. Let me have a look. I actually looked it up. I actually looked it up.
It's like Matt Fury like drew it when he was in kindergarten or something, long before Pepe or Brett or any of the other ones.
The chart looks good. At least the chart's like up, and it's not like some downer, like some meme coin from. Like,
I think the chart's like up because he bought into it, and then like everyone's like followed. So it's like, and everyone's like, oh, this is like a PopCat 2.0 sort of thing. But then it's like, it's the same sort of thing where you're like, oh yeah, but it's a PopCat 2.0, so it's not going to play out the same. So like, no one does it, but then it does play out. Like it's kind of like one of those like dilemmas that like you think it's not going to be the same. Buy it, but yeah, I'm definitely not going to buy it.
Like, if they get into it, like if it goes to 100, I'm happy for those who took the risk.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's a lot of that sort of shit like going on again.
Have you guys heard of, this is one that Jeffrey told me about. I don't even understand how it works because it's so like fast and complex, but Pumpcade.
I saw that. Yeah,
so he has a fair bit of it. I don't know if he wants me to dox the amount he has, but he has, he's one of the top holders, let's just say. But he told me about it, and at like, I don't know, like 8 mil or something, and he actually put his own money into it. So he didn't, get in on it at like 200K or something. So he actually sized in with a significant amount of money. And what it is it's actually insane. I don't know how they do this. It's an on-chain prediction market, but it's like for very fast outcomes. So this is crazy, but say like you bet on who's going to score the next point in a game. Like how does I don't even know how you can make a market on that.
It's like this. It's like the second derivative of like a Polymarket sort of thing. Yeah.
It's literally just a derivative of Polymarket.
But it hasn't actually got any like markets going at the moment. It's just
I think it's like still.
It's in beta or whatever. Yeah,
it's in beta, but it's like, how can that even like work?
It
does sound pretty cool though.
It does, but it's like
it doesn't sound sustainable though. But it sounds cool. It sounds cool.
But like so the way I think about that is like I remember 12, 24 months ago, I think we were all talking like, what's after meme coins? Like Before meme coins, it was like NFTs, and before NFTs, it was like governance tokens or whatever. And they were all just like, hey, like the original thing was like, here's an innovative idea, and it's like kind of like, even one step further back. Here's a company, the company does things. And it's like, okay, well, what's the next thing after a company? Well, it's a stock. And the stock represents a company and it has sort of equity, but how about we don't do the equity bit and we just say you have decision making components, but you don't necessarily own any part of the company, so that's a governance token. So like that was governance token. And then after that it was like, well, here's art on the blockchain. And it was like, well, it's kind of like you're owning a part of something. You don't have any decision making abilities, but you have a little bit because we do a community thing. So like we've taken the community aspect of like this decision making abilities away, and we just say this is just community and it's art. And then after that it's like, well, actually none of that actually matters. It's just a fucking meme, and it's just like an idea that like spawns into your head. So that was like meme coins. And it's like, well, what's after meme coins? Well, it's like, well, it's a meme coin is just an idea or it's an event. So like what's after that? Well, it's prediction markets, because it's like it's something that happens at a certain time or place. So it's like, let's bet on that. But it's like the next derivative of that is like, instead of it being a wider time frame, it's just make the time frame really fucking small, like a 5-minute chart. And let's just bet on that. And so like it's ultimately just you're betting on like the smallest microcosm of like something that may or may not happen. So it's like a coin flip. So like I think that all this like eventually translates down to is like people putting money on like red or black at the casino. But it's just without all the obfuscation around it to like make you feel like you're not at the casino, if you know what I mean.
100%. You're actually spot on with that reference. It's like they're trying to like warp your reality into thinking that you're like, doing these like crazy outcomes with like edge, when you're literally just, you're at the casino doing red and black.
And don't get me wrong, this like in each of those stages, it's like there is a lot more than a 50-50 outcome. Because like the outcome is like 100 to 1 or like 200 to 1 or something like that. But like over time, it's just devolved into being back to 50-50. Like it either happens or it doesn't. And so like people's upside that they're happy with is no longer like, I want to get like $50 and turn it into like, $20,000. It's like now like, I'm just betting red or black. Which is like part of the market being efficient, because that's inevitably like where things should like travel over time, because like you shouldn't have a constant opportunity of like 100 to 1 odds, especially when it's like it was seemingly easy. So like it kind of makes sense, but it's like, where does it go from here? Like really, like like there's nothing really more to be solved or to be developed. It's just like it's pure narrative stocks type related things, or it's pure event driven things, which is what am I gonna do in the next 5 minutes? Am I gonna take a vape, or am I gonna zin? Like, tell me, guys, and let's put some money on it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Don't mind me, I'm just making some yogurt and berries, but
Oh man.
but no,
He's gone
I
from
totally agree.
The chicken, the overcooked chicken, to the potato gems,
yeah,
to the yogurt and berries.
What do Americans call potato gems? I think they call them like tater tarts or something.
Tater tot.
Yeah, I think that's what they call potato gems. So, but yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, you're actually spot on with the. I didn't think of it that way, where like all these markets, like the 5-minute Bitcoin market is like a great example. Sure, there's like a tiny bit more complexity, like where you're able to like hedge if you actually hit an asymmetric bet, but like it's just roulette. Like, I mean, not, it's just, like black, it's just like black, and you're just literally playing like like 50-50 odds. Like it's nothing more than going to the casino and like black or red. Like it's literally they've warped it in a way. They're like, yeah, with our on chain like prediction, like smart contracts will activate when I'm just like I don't know, man. It just feels like I'm just playing like you know what I mean?
It really does, and that's why I was trying to like figure out like what sort of like the next verticals will be, and like I do think the only sort of edge left in crypto in terms of like what happens in crypto is going to be like it's either like rehypothecated stuff from the past that's like made to look new and shiny, and it's like I don't think you can really do that with meme coins. Everyone's tried to do like I think if it was to come back, it would be like what Pump Fund tried to do towards the back end of the cycle, where it seemed more fair or whatever. There'd be some protocol that does like a really good job of it, where like a bunch of the early adopter people get rich. But I don't. But ultimately,
you know what I'm worried about meme like with meme coins is they've essentially tokenized every single word, every single event or meme or anything like that. So it's like it's just like the only things that could ever pump again in the meme coin world is like new like viral shit. Like say there's like
exactly
new
right,
or a new like that penguin from like
or
year.
like remember like, I think it was this time last week or maybe 8 or 9 days ago, there was that guy like playing the esports game and he like started drinking that thing. There was like that meme coin which I lost some money on. It was crash out or whatever, but it's like anything like that is never going to last, right? Because it's a viral moment in time and you're just like trying to make money, and it's like the first come first served, and whoever's got the most like people involved at that point in time. But it's like I can't see where like that sort of works again unless like you get a group of people that consolidate around like a certain coin and it makes it look good, but it's just like the right group of people with the right amount of money. But I think outside of that, you'll get like stuff like a new DeFi or a new like more stocks on chain or like something like that, where there will be some genuine stuff that like solves a problem that isn't a current problem, which is very old, but it's like, okay, someone in Thailand, maybe not Thailand, or let's say Ethiopia doesn't have the opportunity to buy US stocks, and like you give them the opportunity to buy US stocks, and then that's going to help a lot.
The issue I've found with that now though is a lot of these things that we could solve, aside from the 24-hour markets anonymous aspect of it, is like, for example, if you use interactive brokers, you can trade any stock from any I could trade
any
like
country,
Dutch
right?
stocks. You just have to obviously get approved, which only takes like a day, but you can there's probably
the only thing to solve is the friction, right? It's like the friction of being able to like move the money across and like being able to do it.
Some third world countries you wouldn't be able to create an interactive broker's account. So there's still the edge of that. Like you can go on Hyperliquid with an internet connection,
correct,
and do it.
Like if you're in China, for example, you probably can't trade on interactive brokers, but like that's where there's like benefit. So I feel like that's a thing. And then there's probably like a new version of DeFi that doesn't get hacked.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, with reserves. I think the main thing with DeFi, I saw Kun or whatever his name is. I forgot his name.
I thought you were going to say the C word just then, bro.
Yeah. 0x would. I don't even know what his name is, but he mentioned that like the way that DeFi should operate is with having like instead of doing like buybacks, which don't help the token if you get exploited, you should have what Binance do is they'll pay you out, or like they have like a treasury or a fund of large amount of capital for these kind of like fucked bad moments or something, where
Yeah.
That's the problem with DeFi, where it's like, because it's not centralized. It's like someone needs to figure out how that pool of money gets distributed if there's like a fucked.
Oh, it's all right. Like, Aave gets hacked. Solana like donates like money to it, but Ethereum Foundation sells 10,000 ETH.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, so I think if someone can or a group of people can figure that out in a decentralized way, that would be really cool. I feel like there'd be more risk appetite for like people to, because it doesn't, like, there are a lot of people that have 8 figures on chain in like Aave and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but what you really want is people to feel comfortable, these massive like funds and stuff like that, to be putting even more than that. Would you feel
comfortable now? Like, do you feel as comfortable now to keep money on chain?
I have nowhere near that amount of money, and I don't feel comfortable putting
I feel uncomfortable holding my money on Hyperliquid at the moment because
same, bro. I have like all this spot hype. Like, what, bro? Like, is there I know Hyperliquid's sort of centralized as well. Like, they have a team.
Yeah,
they do buybacks. Don't get me wrong. I love the buybacks.
Just wait for Brotato chain, bros.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just trust us. Give us your money.
Trust us. We are a very competent team.
Yeah. As long as Swiss has the keys, we're fine.
Jeez. Yeah.
At least on Binance. And I know I'm a Hyperliquid bull, but there is one pro to like a centralized exchange like Binance, where if you do somehow get hacked, or there's like a glitch or something, or there's a perps, you get like washed on like a perps glitch that goes wrong or something, they'll actually reimburse you your money. So if there's a way that Hyperliquid could allocate a small amount of money to like a fund where if something does go wrong, they have the ability to pay everyone out instantly, I feel like there'd be a lot more. That would keep people very inclined to like leaving a lot of money on chains, because like Hyperliquid hasn't had any problems, and touch wood that they don't, but stuff does happen in DeFi land. So it's more of like a backup contingency that they should sort of address, especially with all the DeFi hacks that are going on right now. But I wanted to also ask you guys what you guys think are. I mean, I know a lot of CT talk about it, so if CT are talking about it, it's probably not even worth even addressing. But the privacy narrative, like, do you guys actually think there's anything to that, or do you think it's just like all just like BS? Like, the tokens won't actually go up that are available to buy for that said narrative.
What do you reckon, Sis?
Point. I do have to actually jump off for dinner, but I'd love to answer this question on another pod catch up. But yeah, I got nothing at the moment. But yeah, keen to hear
I want to know other people's opinions on it.
Yeah, I'd be keen to hear your opinions in the recording. But no, it was great catching up with you guys, and yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime.
Love you, Swiss.
Fuck yeah, Swiss.
Love you, boys. All right. See ya.
Good night. Good to see.
Yeah, 1L, maybe you could.
I've actually, I was in the last week or so, I've been like trying to write down some stuff in my diary as to like what I wanted to actually get into like at the moment, because like I've been trying to get back into crypto. And obviously outside of like BTC and Hype, I've been like, okay, what kind of verticals make sense to me right now? And so like we really touched on like AI capex, compute, blah blah blah, like inside of stocks. The other one we've already touched on was peptides, but then the third one I wrote down was around privacy coins, like the Zcashes and the Moneros. And the reason I wrote them down was, okay, like Monero and Zcash, like both have had somewhat relative like attacks on them recently. And like they're still okay. And then you couple that with what's been happening in terms of like the political stage and like where everything's at there. And it's like, well, you've got this money that's like Bitcoin that's meant to be like this hard money, like store of value, but it's very Michael Saylor centralized at the moment. So it's like if you're trying to get money out and you want it to be shielded, and you've got the US government saying that they want to have Bitcoin, blah blah blah. Well, what's your alternative? And it's like, well, you got like Zcash and Monero, and they're both still doing pretty well from a value perspective. What does that look like for them longer term? And to me, it just makes a lot of sense that like you look around the globe currently, like from a currency to currency basis, there's not like even things like the Australian peso is not been doing too badly against the US dollar. However, if all of them are going to shit at the same time, you're not going to notice that they're shit. What you are going to notice is that asset prices are going to go up a lot, which they have been.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you do if you need to move countries, be mobile, have money that's like non-government secure? It's like you're going to want some sort of privacy coin. Bitcoin's one of those, but it's not very private ultimately because most people have an exchange, and they've said that I've bought Bitcoin with X and Y, and there's not a lot of like mixing services available for a Bitcoin, whereas like a Zcash or a Monero is like inherently a privacy coin. And so those to me make sense. So it's like, well, if you have the ability to obfuscate like where your money came from, maybe not like on your way in, but on your way out, especially if you wanted to like leave a country. So like if I was like, well, I'm in Australia, I want to get the fuck out of here and never come back again. I put my money on an exchange. I do whatever I can to swap it into a Zcash or Monero, and then I send it to some wallet, and then I pull it out somewhere else around the world. Like I can do that, and whilst Australia may know that I onboarded using a certain amount of money, they're not going to know where my wallet went to or where it went ultimately. So
with the
like,
mixer.
yeah, and like mixing services, like I find are always a bit of like a challenge, but I think like coins like Monero, which are like inherently like private, and Zcash to that
I think
matter,
you can
like,
get Monero. You can buy Monero now through Hyperliquid.
yeah, you can, and Zcash as well.
Like spot.
Yeah, you can buy spot both. You can buy both
so
on spot.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
like you can.
That was
the
one challenge because you'd have to go through a centralized exchange. Like there wasn't many that had like Monero.
Yeah, correct. So there is an ability for you to like get in and get out, and so once you're out, like you're out, and no one's going to know sort of like where the source of your funds was. On the way out, on the way in, they'll probably know that you went to Hyperliquid and then you bought this and it went somewhere. But if you're trying to escape from whatever country you're in, like it is what it is, if you know what I mean. But at least you've got the ability to do so. So I definitely think like privacy coins make sense. It's just that like, do they make sense now? That's the question that I think
my issue is with. I'm not going to say with Monero. I think Monero makes complete sense, and I don't know the entire like. There's people on CT that ramble about the technicals of Zcash and how it actually works and stuff like that. And I don't know the full picture, so I'm not an expert on it. But to me, just from a logical standpoint, when when someone commits a hack, they use Monero to wash their money. Like,
true.
I'm looking at all the hacks that have happened. I don't see any of these motherfuckers using anything but Monero. Okay, so Monero to me is true privacy. That's just what I notice. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to wash your money, you go through Monero. That's how I've seen it. So XMR makes sense to me. I can see like why the appeal to XMR. I don't know much about Zcash, and I don't like how it was randomly a Dino coin that just like started pumping. Last jump. That's what I don't like, and I don't like the whole.
Only thing I like about Zcash is I don't know if you've ever watched Zuko before. The guy that like is like one of the main devs of like Zcash. Like he's a real smart guy, and like he can be a bit of a dick as well, because he like blocks anyone that like says anything bad about Zcash. But like like I feel like he's fairly intelligent, and I remember him talking about like the differences between proof of stake and proof of work, and like some of the issues with proof of work, and why it made sense for Zcash to be proof of stake. And it made a lot of sense to me. Like this is a couple of years ago. I think it was like up only. So like I liked the whole Zcash thing, but like the Monero one just seems to be the more coin of choice for people that really want to be private.
Like I understand Zcash to some degree. Obviously, as I said before, I'm not very. I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole, so there will be people that probably challenge me on what I say. But yeah, from what I've seen, just from a logical standpoint, Monero seems like a proven privacy token that you can actually utilize for that specific reason. Whether that be like, washing your money from a hacking, or just like trying to actually wash your money from the so-and-so government. But what I've also worried about with Zcash, and I'm not like gonna shit on it too hard just because like there's probably a lot of people that hold it, but it just reminds me of a coin that like seems like the wrong coin to DCA. Like I see so many people talking about it on CT, and it just gives me like ETH vibes. Like I don't know why, but it just I just don't see the asymmetric upside of it. Like
to me, like Monero seems like the better choice.
To be fair, for both privacy tokens available, to be fair, like the asymmetric upside to them, it's going to sound fucked, but like stuff has to kind of go wrong in society. Like a lot of trust needs to be lost for like the tokens to actually go to like 50 billion, 100 billion, whatever the fuck you want them to go. Like if they want to 10x from these valuations, which they can, like I unfortunately think like stuff has to go wrong. Like if there's like everyone's chilling, there's nothing's going on, and like don't get me wrong, that's starting to happen. Like people are starting to like get pissed off with like globalism, and they're getting poor, like their wages aren't growing, and lots of things in the world are happening. But you're right, like you could be like too early, or it couldn't happen. It might not happen this early. You know what I mean? Like so you could be buying these coins, and you could be like 10 years too early or something like that, like on Monero or something like that, where it's going to 10x because of like the government, fiat debasement, and all these other factors that people lose trust in the financial system, whatnot. But that's a problem in itself as well. Like if you get a 20x on Monero, that could be a problem with like you could there could be like problems with getting enough oil or something in society. Like you don't know. Like this is the issue with like, and this is what I heard someone really smart on TradFi talk about this, he's not even in crypto, but he sort of said there's levels to like gold and Bitcoin that like speak really bad for society, in terms of like if Bitcoin was to actually go to like 500,000 really quickly, like that's like not good for society. That means like that means
something's like fundamentally wrong.
Something's breaking. Yeah, like the system isn't like working. It's the same with gold. Like if gold goes like to 100 trillion, like $100 trillion is like it's like losing its value like really quickly. You know what I mean? So
and
that's like sort of with any like asset right now, like like land. Like I put up a funny thing today where I said like, oh, the median house price of in these suburbs have been flat, and then PK came up with a really good comment where he was like, yeah, like it's because of all these townhouses being built that skews the median. The actual value of land is still going up. So like
Yeah,
everything
that's
against
true.
fiat everything against fiat is going, like collectibles that can't be printed out of thin air. Like they're all going up against like the dollar. So like if you look closely enough, everything is ripping much harder.
Correct.
There are,
Yeah.
and it's like yeah, the thesis is happening where like there's people losing trust in the dollar, there's people losing trust in the system, but it's not there yet. You know, it's not like fully there yet to the point where it's like, you know, people are willing to like, you know, hide from like the government because they distrust it that much. There are people that think like that, but like on a mass scale with like people with large sums of capital, they're not there yet. Like a lot of people would prefer to do it with like gold. Some people prefer to do it with Bitcoin. Like, you know, so it's like it's I see the thesis and I'm like, I'm contemplating like putting some money into like Monero for sure. But there are some like headwinds to that thesis, I think. As there are tailwinds. Like there are like a lot of positives to like the thesis, but I think what people need to kind of come to terms with, like if these actually rip, like I don't think it's actually like society's not like doing that well.
No.
Like,
it's like you
you
got
know what
rich,
I mean?
but we're fucked
But
at
like
the same time.
everyone's like everyone's like doing shit. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, could still be a good player.
Hikaru just messaged on the chat as you were like talking. He said that Monero and Zcash is kind of like the ETH to BTC.
Yes. Which one's going to be the underperformer? I'm placing my bets on Zcash because I think Monero is like the OG. It's always been like the well known as like the privacy coin, and I think hackers really do use it when they need to wash their funds. It's proven. So I would bet Monero, but look, if you want a Zodl, like, and you hit a 10x, like, GG.
I feel like that, like the most bullish thing about Zcash is that like Kobe's like supposedly in it. Like,
yeah.
It's
I
like
mean, honestly, like there are bull cases. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah. I think I just prefer Monero over it, but man, honestly, like if they
Monero for sure, Zcash bad, Zcash bad.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like I'm of the opinion that I think a lot of people that I think most of the people, I think 80% of the people that are bullish Zcash, I think they're in it. I think, in my opinion, I don't think it has as much asymmetric upside as like something else. Like because we forget, like. For example, in the bear market, ETH was very consensus, so the asymmetric upside was quite low. You could like this. I was talking to someone as well about like I'm a Hyperliquid holder, and my thesis for Hype is the asymmetric upside comes from TradFi. It doesn't actually come from crypto natives.
No, it's not crypto at all. Because
crypto natives, they basically hold it. Like there's not enough capital to push it hard enough.
Hyperliquid should be so much more value than what it is now.
My thesis is there's going to be an ETF for like Hype or Hyperliquid that TradFi can buy. That's my thesis, because I don't think the actual underlying token can be pumped hard enough to a point where it'll do $200 or something like that. That's impossible. I think, in my opinion.
My biggest regret is like if I just didn't trade towards the back end of last year with like pump fund and everything, and I just like held my hype that I held from like the beginning of the year, I would have been much better off than if I like did anything. Like I could have just held hype and I would have been fine. But
doing less with quality is like best. Like I've made that mistake so much.
I've been such a hype bull as well, which is like the most annoying thing. But like it is like genuinely the only thing that like if you look through like CoinGecko or whatever, it's the only thing that you like look at and you go, oh, that makes sense. Like all of these other valuations are just kind of fucked. But
I think with Hyperliquid, I think as a holder, like I like to like visualize bull and bear cases, and I've obviously gone through the countless bull cases, but the one bear case that has come up, and it is like somewhat of a worry to me, is obviously like I just mentioned the asymmetric upside, but then I gave a counterpoint to where like TradFi could buy it through an ETF. Anyways, So my bear case, and I thought about this a lot, is the actual underlying infrastructure of these, like, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're like finance hubs or exchanges. I don't know what you want to call them, but I'm looking at I'm comparing it to two other products, Interactive Brokers and Robinhood, because they're all three of them are kind of similar. They're like like they're all very similar.
Like,
those three.
How funny is it though? That like Robinhood exists, right? Robinhood exists and is as gamified as it is, and yet people are still doing interactive brokers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Interactive Brokers, funnily enough, has grown at a far higher rate than Robinhood has in the last year and a half, which goes to like, which is interesting to me because I would have thought that, with all the speculation and like mania in stocks, and obviously a little bit in crypto as well, like back into last year was pretty good, but you would have thought like, yeah, Robinhood would have been like the
I feel
main
like
hub.
the interactive brokers, the biggest problem with them is the UI UX, right? And like the fact that Robinhood is losing to them is like a sign that like maybe that UI UX isn't that important. But in saying that, it's probably because of the exposure to the other markets, right? Because like people are going.
I think it's that. It's the, like, obviously the professionalism as well that people actually kind of like after you, like, if you think about it, if you think about being like a retail trader and you like, because like you can't be like super dumb for your whole life, yeah. So like if you continuously like be an options retail like trader and bought these like retail names and you just consistently get washed, and you see like normal people just like DCAing into QQQ and just like honestly just like making like hundreds of millions, like all this money, like you look at it and you're like, fuck, like I'm so dumb. Like if I just didn't like do all this like wash trading and just like DCA'd into like the index, I'd be up this much. And like I think it's the same in crypto, yeah. Like where we all got that financial nihilism pilled, and then we after it we like came to this conclusion of like, oh, got to hold quality names like Hyperliquid, and like Bitcoin, and like we did like a full like 360 or 180 whatever, and like I feel like a lot of retail people have sort of done that like recently, and like if you look at Interactive Brokers stock, like the ticker IBKR, like and you look at Robinhood, like look at them both and tell me which one's doing better. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Sure, Robinhood's probably more volatile and has more asymmetric upside like when it pumps, but like I mean IBKR is like at all-time highs right now. So I think that whole nihilism crowd have sort of come around and they're like, fuck, like maybe I am like a dumbass, like just like gambling on options every single day, and like maybe I do need to just like buy and hold and just like get my dopamine levels checked. I mean, how long that lasts? Probably not long, but like
no, that's right.
But I think you're right. Like the exposure to other like being able to buy a Swedish semiconductor name like all on one platform, as well as buying like a
semiconductor,
as well as like a Dutch ASML competitor, like it's like
ASML.
Like I mean ASML
so
is Dutch, but like another version. There's like a smaller company competing against it in that region. So it's like that makes sense. But going back to my original point, like I've looked at those valuations and none of those like Robinhood, IBKR, trying to think of like other names that are publicly traded in that category, but none of them have really been able to break out and sort of establish themselves as like this house of all finance that's worth like $500 to $1 trillion. Because it's just not as like the growth and the profitability isn't as crazy as something like like Meta or Nvidia with like how their business model works. So that's like the bear case in terms of like, because IBKR is worth And IBKR is like the main, like the big dog in the game. Like they're the biggest in the game, and they're
Yeah.
worth about 120 bill, I think.
Which is
Like, so
not
if you go,
like a lot in comparison,
that's not a
right?
lot, man. Like I would have thought they'd be worth like 400 or 500 bill. Like I would have thought they'd be up there with like JP Morgan, like Bank of America. I thought they would have been like 300-400 bill. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the bear case for Hyperliquid, where like it has a capped upside because I like doubt it. Like I'm realistic. I doubt it surpasses IBKR. So there's a capped upside in my opinion to it, and I don't know what
the difference between that and IBKR, right, is like the buybacks, surely.
Yes, yeah, the buybacks help. Like I'll give it that. Like buybacks help in a bear market as well. Like it creates a good floor. So if you go off there fully diluted, it's about 40 bill. So 40 bill. So this is the issue. Like you get a 3x. It's at IBKR's valuation from here. So it's the asymmetric upside isn't. I mean, it was probably good at 20. Like it was good at 20 because you could probably get like 6-7x if that comes to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just comparing it to like, yeah, Robinhood. I don't even know what Robinhood's fucking market cap is right now. It's probably a lot less than what it was. But so Robinhood at its peak was, where's Hood? So Hood is down. So Hood's down about 50% ish, and it's at 70. So it's about 150 bill. Okay, so it's about 150 bill at its all-time high. So that's a target that it could potentially hit. So yeah, asymmetric upside is like 3-4x, which makes sense because like if everyone owns it in a bear market, similar to ETH, from the like ETH only went basically 2x from like what I mean bottom it went about 3x, but 3-4x, 4x if you really held it to the top. But I think most people sold. I mean, I don't really count that like second wave. I sort of count like the ETF as like that was like when everyone sort of was like if you bought in the bear market and sold the ETF hype, like you would have got like a 3x. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like in the camp that I don't think Hyperliquid has like a crazy asymmetric upside. Like I think some people think it's going to do like a 10x. Like I disagree. Maybe.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. Like
Yeah,
maybe,
like I don't think so.
maybe
Like I think that
120 at most.
Bill.
But
Yeah,
like yeah,
I can't see it doing like more than 120 seems about right. 100 even is like
yeah, 100 even, yeah.
like because I'm comparing them to actual like I'm trying to trying to get a good visualization of how these platforms work. And sure, like I'm sure these other platforms could grow, which would in turn prove good for I think what the bullish thing is for Hyperliquid and all these other platforms like ABK or Robinhood is trading is actually becoming like the future. Like it's becoming like if you tell me how much money people would be trading like in 2019 like today, like I would have laughed at you. Like it's like if you showed me the figures in 2019 and
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
you compared them now, I would have been like, there's no way I'd grow that much in like 5-6 years. So
Yeah,
I think
no
that
doubt.
there's trading is definitely the future. Like news-based price action is definitely the future. But and perpetual DCAing of like index funds and stuff. I think that's gonna accelerate even higher. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's like the
makes sense.
bear case, bull case. Like, yeah, you gotta sort of have a thesis on both, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Like, yeah, it. Like when I look at hype at the moment, right? Like if you look at FTV, not market cap, just FTV.
Yeah, I look at FTV.
Yeah, if you look at FTV, it's trading not far under Solana at the moment. Like Solana's 54.
Which makes sense, right? I reckon. I always said that those two should have converged.
Yeah,
and you probably said the same thing. Like they should have come a bit closer.
And like, if anything, like if I go, well, is Solana worth more than Hyperliquid? And it's like, well, if you actually think about it, probably not. Like, should BNB worth more than, like, it depends on what you see BNB as. Like, do you see it as like pseudo equity or whatnot? XRP, like XRP is XRP, so it's like shouldn't be worth as much as it is. But like, you know, like Hyperliquid's probably more closer to like Ethereum territory, but like not quite. So like I feel like there's like a discount to like where Ethereum should be because of like.
But I don't think that they can pump that high without a TradFi native ramp. So like an ETF,
100%,
like it can't pump.
Yeah.
It has. There's not even in a full blown bull market.
But like,
I think it'll cap out.
I think
At
like
like
the
$100.
bear case to hype outside of like what you mentioned before is just like simply the market cap to FDV ratio. Like the fact that like the market cap sitting like sub 10 bill,
but 40 bill.
but 40 bill FDV. It's like, well, you know, that is a huge discrepancy. And like if there was to be a bull case for like the rest of crypto, is like most of like what we've known as like pure dog shit. Like historically, you talk, and when I say dog shit, I'm talking about like H bar, ICP. You know, a lot of these like dog shit tokens. A lot of them now are like fully diluted. So it's like, okay, these tokens are now sitting in like a scenario where like the market cap FTV ratio is now like converged. So there's no longer this like force that's like dumping these tokens on you that like you don't have access to. And so like anyone that has these tokens now is like it's on the free market, so therefore it should be like priced relative to whatever the free market wants to sort of deem it as. And it's like the thing that like makes Hyperliquid stick out versus all the rest of them is just like the tokens are so severely unlocked in like relatively, whereas like, you know, Solana FDV to market cap's like not too far different. We're talking like 5 bill or probably less than between that, but like all of the rest of them, everything's fully diluted. So it's like that's the thing where those other tokens kind of make sense, because like if they are fully diluted now and they're, you know, we've gone through a bit of a bear cycle. We haven't done like the full 4-year cycle sort of thing, but like, you know, it's gone down a lot. So it sort of makes sense for those coins to potentially have like a narrative, but like they don't have anything outside of the fact that they are fully diluted. Whereas like the bear case for Hyperliquid is like they are where a lot of these other tokens were a number of years ago, and they've got a lot of holders that haven't, you know, been able to sell at their fully diluted valuation, and they don't have coins on the market, so therefore, you know, there is a discount that should be applied to Hyperliquid. But as we've seen in the past, like the, you know, low float, high FDV coins have always pumped hard, which has made Hype pump hard. So like it's going to take a long time for Hype to like suit its valuation. In saying that though, it kind of justifies its valuation, unlike these other coins, because it's not making money off of like a transaction fee on a blockchain, which has no relevance to the size of the transaction fee, whereas like Hyperliquid makes money depending if you're going to spend $1 million or like $1,000. Like you will make a different amount of money depending on the user that's doing it. So it does have a difference that needs to be like considered there. So like it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I think that's like the one bear case outside of what you mentioned before. Is just like it's FDV is still so high relative to its market cap and like unlocks a future headwind that the coin needs to face. But in saying that, with the buybacks and the mechanism and blah blah blah, like there's a lot of things that's going in its favor as well.
Yeah, I think it, like I saw CL tweet about this, and people were saying like, oh, Hyperliquid gone up, it'll be funny if like the rest of the market rips and Hyperliquid underperforms. And then CL said like, brother, that's not going to happen. Like if like we go into a full-blown bull market, like they're going to make more money, like they're going to go up in price. Like it's just how it works. But in saying that, there will be, because of its valuation, it may underperform even though it's going up. which makes sense. Like as in it goes from like $100 goes to $100. Oh, well, that's like 150%. Wow, that's like amazing. But like I don't know, something else goes up like 10x. You know what I mean? So, like that's the reality I think of it. Just because of its value, like we said it a lot in crypto, where because it has revenue, it has buybacks. It's much easier to valuate. And that also gives it it gives it an upside as well, which makes it less speculative compared to like a meme coin. Which basically has no no like cap on its upside, but obviously it has infinite downside potential. But yeah, that's sort of how I see, and it's like the same with Solana and ETH. Like the consensus last cycle was to park your money in ETH because it was the altcoin that went down the least, and it was much safer, and it had the previous cycles of survivorship bias that people felt comfortable, and I felt comfortable putting my money in Ethereum in a bear market. Whereas Solana, it's complete opposite. It had all the FUD of FTX. It had all the regulatory FUD of the SEC. So no one actually really held the token or felt comfortable holding the token, which eventually created the asymmetric upside because people had to basically allocate to it when people started using the chain to speculate. So that is why like it did like a 10, 20 or whatever it did, as opposed to ETH, which a lot of people had already allocated to in the bear market. So when the bull market actually came around, it only went up like 100 or 200% or something, as opposed to a 10x. So I think something similar with Hyperliquid, and and with TradFi, that ETF, it would help it a bit, but I still think it does have a capped upside. But that's fine. Like I personally am at a point where I kind of prefer holding something that I'm like, I know that can grow really well. And if I do get as opposed to something that, might go to zero, but it might also 10x, like if I want to do that, I'll probably just instead try to buy like something like a meme or like something speculative with like low amount of capital and just hope for the best. So when I'm placing like big bets, like with my capital, I prefer to like know that I have a good upside with a low potential of a downside, as opposed to I might get a 20x, but it might also go to zero. You know what I mean? So that's sort of how I place my bets for my large amount of capital when I place like my singular or concentrated bets. But yeah, as I said, if I want to buy something speculative, I'll just do it with like not much money. Yeah,
that makes sense. So I speaking of Hyperliquid, one of the protocols that I was like farming was Ventuals.
Ventuals,
yeah. So anyway, I'm a bit of an idiot, but maybe not an idiot. We'll see how everything plays out. But so so basically, what had happened was there was a points program, and the points program worked of two things. There was one, you could stake your hype, and you could get this thing called V hype, which was Ventuals staked hype. Right. And if you and there was like certain tiers, so it was like tier 1, tier 2, tier 2, tier 3, blah 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 blah. And depending on where you were in that tier, you got more or less points than the other tier. So like the first 500k hype deployed into staked Ventuals hype got a higher amount of points than tier 2, which was 500k to a million hype, and then so on and so forth. So when I staked my hype with Ventuals, which I staked like fuck all, to be fair, but I staked whatever amount it was with them, and I was like tier 4, and I completely forgot about it. Right, I was like, well, it's I've staked hype, whatever. What I didn't realize is that when you stake your hype with them and this V hype, when it goes back to the tier 1, so let's say a whole bunch of people withdraw their hype, right? So it's because they need a minimum of 500k hype in order to launch perps for their platform. So once it goes back to close to that, they stop the withdrawals, because otherwise they wouldn't have enough hype in order to maintain their their app because they need to be able to deploy perps products or whatever, right? So anyway, I completely forgot about this. The other way to earn points was if you were market making.
Like lending or market making?
No, market making. So like the way you got points was if you were trading the perp of so the Ventuals is all pre-IPO perps. So it's like Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX, blah blah blah. You could like trade their pre-IPO perp of whatever it was. And then the closer your limit orders were to like the mark price, the more points you would get and relative to size and whatnot. And because they're like very illiquid markets, because it's a pre-IPO perp, you'd get more sort of less points. So back, let's say early December, I was like farming this a lot. I was like getting a few points just from doing like I was like putting like limit orders like on the sell and the buy side, just like very close to the mark price. So like if one got filled, the other one would like get filled, or like I put like a very tight stop loss on it, and then whatever, just to like kind of have it there. I was doing it with like fuck all money. I was just like doing it just to like farm the points. So I was getting a few points. It was all right. It was all right. And then when I staked my hype, I was like tier 5 or tier 6. I can't remember. It was like getting fuck all, but it was enough points to get me into like what Ventuals would call the silver tier amount of points, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I've been so busy with life and whatever, I completely forgot about this in terms of like what was happening then, other than the fact that like I knew I had some hype there and I completely forgot about it. And I didn't know that there was like a withdrawals thing where they would halt withdrawals entirely. And then I was talking to Dark the other night and I was like, yeah, I started earning a shit ton of points recently. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh yeah, there's like a whole game because of like, if you, they need to limit their withdrawals because like after a certain amount of hype, then they need to stop the withdrawals. So you like, if you're going to have any hype staked with them, you need to like make sure that it's, and you pull it out before they reach that limit. Anyway, so I checked today. I was like, oh, yeah, I should have a look at this because, like, I'm getting a few points. I'm like gold tier. I'm like top 1,000, like sub 1,000 in like terms of points for Ventuals. I'm like, oh, this is sick. I probably would have had like 5K staked with them initially or something like that. So it was like whatever it was. Probably should have done more at the time because the rest of it I bought. I had in SNX, which went to absolute zero. So fuck you, Tom Mitchellville. Joking, I love you, bro. Anyway, I was getting all these points. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is sick. I was like, I might put some more hype in there, which I didn't. Thank fuck. But what I worked out was, so people obviously work this game out. They've halted withdrawals apparently like 4 months ago because like, people were like pulling out because they got their points. They did their thing. They want to get their stake type out. But now it's like within that limit sort of range. And anyway, there is a secondary market for this hype, right? So if they enabled withdrawals, you could get a 1-to-1 sort of withdrawal, right?
Okay.
But there is a secondary market, which is V-Hype trading against Hype, right? So V-Hype being the Ventual stake type, right?
Okay.
And that is trading at like a 15 to 20% discount currently. To current Hype, right? So if you were to buy it, you would get a massive discount against current Hype.
Against the Hype. And you're what you're saying is you're banking off them releasing withdrawals if you buy this and then basically making 20%.
And you're hoping that the price appreciation of Hype continues.
Yeah,
right,
because you've
up
got
into the point where they start releasing withdrawals again, right? So like that's a risk. So obviously the market's
it's a risk, but like But like,
Yeah.
it's like the whole like, yeah, it's like any sort of like protocol risk of like, yeah, you could have bought USDC at 85 cents or whatever when it like imploded. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, but then the flip side to that as well is that because the amount of V hype staked at the moment is like on the borderline of total V hype available for the points program. If you do buy it and you swap your hype for V hype and gain more V hype at the 15% discount, you do get points at a massively upscaled amount of points per week than what you would have previously gotten had you staked your hype, a few months ago. So if you're willing to risk the capital,
you can, there is a bet
there is some points that you can sort of get, and then if you were to do some like market making style activity with like a lower amount of money on Hyperliquid with the Ventuals perps like Anthropic, OpenAI, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
there is an opportunity there at the moment to make a little bit of money if you assume that the airdrop from Ventuals is actually going to be worth much. And Ventuals, if I'm not mistaken, was a Paradigm project, like Paradigm backed project.
Project.
There is, if you were in the camp that hype was going to go a lot higher, and if you're in the camp that the points are going to be worth something, probably not a bad little gig.
So Ventuals is that the like pre-IPO platform?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah. I remember hearing about it. Obviously I didn't do anything on there, but yeah, that sounds interesting. How there's that like sort of,
there's an inefficiency there, but like obviously the market's pricing that in. But like it's pricing it in given the current state of time. So like there is something there, and I'm sure like Dark's going to be listening to this and be like, 1L was a fucking idiot. He should have pulled his money out earlier. So when you do hear this, Dark, tell me I'm a fucking idiot. But I messaged him today being like, oh, it's trading at a discount. He's like, yeah, that happened 4 months ago as well. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah.
No, it's interesting though.
Yeah, it just sort of shows that there is opportunities potentially.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things that like in the future, like you could either look like a fucking genius or taking advantage of, or like over an absolute retard because like the market's efficient and prices things in efficiently. But yeah, so that's been kind of interesting, and I think like probably something similar will happen with like Trade XYZ and like the unit thing as well. But at least like the points thing is a little bit more public on Ventuals. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of happens there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, airdrop farming, I think still the best R&R in crypto. So
no doubt.
I think if you farmed, if you were early to, XYZ, you'd be pretty happy with yourself right now.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like when they actually drop a token or whatever they do, I feel like you should get a good stimmy. Like, I mean, Lighter gave a good fucking airdrop if you were like early to that. So I mean, it's a product that actually is like used on a daily basis by like a lot of people. Like XYZ, I'm sure like will be alright. So yeah, hopefully. I mean, I can see like a pre-IPO platform like Ventuals, like let's like if you look at all the good, like there was an IPO, I think, when was it? Like a month ago. It was for this like AI drone company. It was called Swarmer. The company's called Swarmer. Fuck, I don't even know the ticker. I'll tell you what the ticker is. It's not a big company, but it was an IPO. SWMR Swarmer, and the IPO price, the pre-price was $5. It opened and it instantly gapped. Like it opened at $5 and it gapped up to 50 or 60. So yeah, these pre-IPO markets, especially with like shit like Andrel and all these like drone
Angel
AI
would be good.
like like all these, even like just smaller ones, like this Swarm is a great example. Like they're going to be just like traded heavily. Like the volatility in these are
100%.
going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can get like an actual liquid pre-IPO market and Ventuals becomes that, like if it actually becomes, somewhere where people can speculate before the market opens, and then say the market opens and it opens at a similar valuation, like there's so much that's like, it's literally like, the perfect platform. And yeah, I mean,
exactly.
yeah, I feel like these hyperliquid altcoins might do really well. Like, as in, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna like crash like 70-80% eventually, or 90%, whatever they do. But I think they could do really well just because there's like a narrative around it. Like, there's actually somewhat of an intrinsic narrative around it. So it makes sense. And like, especially if they're low market cap, like if they're like 200 mil or something like that, like they're gonna be easy to pump. You know what I mean? So. Like not easy, but like easier. Like if they're like 100, they're like 100 mil or something. Like they're gonna be like super fucking simple to like giga pump to like a bill or something. So I don't know. Like I saw that other coin the other day. I don't know if you saw it. I mean, it's down now obviously because everyone started bull posting it. But that Chipcoin that did like
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that did like I don't know what it is. I think it's like a GP. So what it is I think it's like a GPU. I don't know exactly, but I think what it is, it's like a decentralized GPU bond market, if that makes sense. So what they're trying to achieve, they're like trying to, how there's like mortgage-backed securities. They're trying to do like GPU-backed securities or something like that, which is interesting. But I mean, do you need a token for that? Like, I don't know, but like, it's a cool narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. Like, I just don't know how at scale that would work, because I think the issue is like getting GPUs, or like building these like mortgage-backed securities on chain would be like really difficult, and I don't know how people trust them, but. It's cool. It's a really cool concept. Like, I'll give them that. It's really cool. Like, I thought about that. I'm like, wait, they're actually, because if GPUs do become like a commodity, like you kind of need like these kind of, these like mortgage-backed securities for them. I'm assuming they'll eventually do them in TradFi once if this compute trend accelerates, because GPUs will just be like such a hot commodity. But it's cool that like they're thinking of that. So I don't know. I thought it was cool, but I'm not buying the token. But,
no, that's right. I feel like it was like way too like. There was too many people on Twitter like talking about it.
CT were like like all these accounts were chilling out. They're like, it's going to 10 bill. I'm like, bro, it's going to top bill. I know. But I mean, it's just another one of those. It's a cool narrative, but like, what's the token for?
ETH bro? As well, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah. I was like, but like, what's the token do, man? Like,
it would have been like $1 billion val.
Yeah, billion FTV. Yeah.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
I saw a lot of people saying like, I saw like a bunch of people on Twitter. They were like, this is so cheap. It's like 200 million. And I'm like, bro, like, just look at the FTV. I'm like, it's like, like, I don't know how people don't see this, but anyways, yeah, the market cap's like 130 and it's like 700 FTV.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know why you need a token, but it's a really cool concept. If they can actually do something, like if they can actually scale that to some degree, like that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know how they would. Like, I got no idea. But I think Alex Good Alexander was talking about it with like the guy who works there on the on with like on a Threadguy live. So like yeah, if you want to see that, just go on his
Yeah, I
YouTube
started
channel.
like watching like a little bit
I
of
feel
it the
like
other day.
I mean Threadguy gets like a lot of hate, but like some of his streams
He's
are
doing
kind of
good.
good, bro. Like
Yeah, he's doing good.
I don't get like I think feel like a lot of the hate's like forced. I'm like, bro's just out
Yeah.
here like ripping pods with like people that obviously CT want to like hear from. Like, bro, like he got like Kobe on. Like, I've seen him get some like really cool TradFi guys on as well. Like just guys that have like different thought process. I mean, it's just interesting to listen to. I think he gets a lot of hate, man. Like, I think he gets a lot of forced hate just because he was like associated with a lot of the, Frank and all that, like back in the day.
Dude, it was so funny when like Kobe was like, oh, and then you did the Libra scam or whatever, and then like Threadguy got so
that's
upset
why, bro.
about it.
Yeah, that's
He was
why.
like-
I think that's like why everyone hates him.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like,
was like, bro, like he's obviously like joking, but like I can imagine like it would be like such a sensitive topic for him.
And I get why people like fucking hate him, but like, bro, he puts out a free fucking podcast that you can like listen to with like random people. So like, I'm not hating. I mean, I didn't get. Maybe I feel different if I got scammed on Libra. You know what I mean? But
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Like I feel like if you got scammed with Libra though, like you deserve it. But
you deserve it, bro. Like it's like the 8th derivative of Trump coin. You missed, bro. You missed Melania. You missed Trump. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I feel like that's well deserved.
Yeah, 100%. I got a boot because I'm I'm wrecked. But I got up too early today. But yeah, I'm gonna probably hit the hay real soon. But it's good to be back on.
Good to catch up, bros.
Yeah,
good to catch up.
Got to do it again.
Yeah, that sounds good, bro. All right. Peace in the Middle East, rain in Spain.
For real. Peace, guys.
For real. Cheers. Have a good night.
Guys.
Cheers. Bye.